In crypto, almost every altcoin dies, not literally, but structurally. 99.99% of coins, 99.99% of coins, read my lips, never make a new all-time high from one cycle to the next one. They pump once, they distribute, and they fade into irrelevance. Many of these coins, I'm going to show you. But every cycle, a few survive. Bitcoin did, made few higher highs from one cycle to another. Ethereum did at one point. Even Doge did. Okay. Now the real question is, could Kaspa be one of those rare 0.01% of coins? What do you think? All right. Today, I'm not going to give you hopium. I'm going to be breaking down the structure. Okay. Because at the end, you're going to understand my belief, my thoughts all about Kaspa. And I'm going to give you three main reasons for why I think what I think, right? So let's dive right into it. I want to show you first, right, some coin, for example, that didn't make it, right? Because 99.9% of coins, they don't make it. Look at this. This is AXS, okay? This was a mega banger in the last cycle. Look at it. You can't even look at it correctly right now because it got smashed so heavily from the top, which was way over here, all the way to the current price action. It's a 99% decline. AXS was all the rage. Here, look, it was all the rage over here. And of course, my point is that after one cycle, they all turn into irrelevant, dead coins, right? That's the story, right? That's the story. Now, I don't need to show you more of this because this is everywhere. You have AXS from last cycle. You have Theta from last cycle. You have so many from last cycle. I can't even name them, right? But it's a lot, okay? And you have from past cycles also, right? I would argue that even XRP, the 2017 top, some people say this cycle, after two cycles, it attempted to, but didn't really, all right? So even, all right, the almighty XRP couldn't really make a substantial, right, high from one cycle to another, because look at this. This was the first cycle high in 2017. 2021, it couldn't amount to it, and only now it attempted. And we have a few of these attempts on Solana, for example, on Ethereum Classic. Not really, all right? Not like Bitcoin, all right? From one cycle to another, substantial higher highs. Okay, this is the 0.01, maybe even the 0.001 of coins. Look at Ethereum, had one, all right, was able to have from one cycle to the next cycle a substantial higher high. By the way, not this cycle. As you can see, it couldn't even amount to break even a little bit above that one, okay? But on one cycle to another, it did. Okay, well, I wonder, what Kaspa is going to do, and I'm going to share it in just a second. But Ethereum made it at least for one cycle. For this cycle, not two cycles consecutively, which was only Bitcoin, and maybe depends how you look at Doge, right? Because Doge, we need to go to the log chart, because if not, you just can't see. But you can have an argument that this did have, a higher top in 2014. Then a substantial higher high in 2017, and then the last higher high in 2021. And by the way, it couldn't amount to continue this, cycle, because it kind of topped back in June 2021 for Doge. Huge move, okay? But that's what I'm trying to say. You don't get a lot of these at all, okay? You do not get a lot of these at all. They all have, all right, usually, all right, just like what XRP had or what AXS had, right? AXS is the best example, but you have more like AVAX and stuff like that, or Luna and all these, okay? But what they have, okay, and I need to go to log chart here also, is they have a move up, okay? Then they have a distribution, and then they go down into irrelevance. And if I go back into the regular chart, you can see it, okay? Remember, they have first is a stage one, this is neglect, stage two, uptrend, then distribution, then down, decline, stage four, and then irrelevance forever, unless you're like Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum, and maybe Doge. So this is Kaspa, right? Kaspa has been through the first cycle, okay? It had its stage one, by the way, and this is one of the best signals it had. It started a breakout on the bear market still at the end of the bear market. So it was preceding Bitcoin's breakout into the new bull market. So that's the first thing I like about Kaspa. Then it went to the huge stage two, then stage three topping, now stage four decline. I'm looking for it to do a stage one for a year, and then on the next cycle, right, potentially to be one of the 0.01 percentiles, right? There is a chance that Kaspa has what it takes. And again, I'm going to give you three reasons why. One, okay, in a bear market, it thrived and started its own bull market before even Bitcoin. It didn't need Bitcoin. It can make its own moves. That's one. Second of all, this was one of the main leaders, all right, substantial leaders for 2000 for this cycle, right? Because this move that it made from its low over here all the way to the top was a huge move, huge, right? Kaspa was banging it, right? So that's number two. Number one is, right, in a bear market, it started breaking out. You know, look at this. By July 2022, it started its own bull market. Bitcoin only joined over here at January. So even before Bitcoin joined, it already made a 2000% move before Bitcoin even joined. That's the strength. Then it went into a rampage, was a main leader in the 2023 to 2025 cycle. That's something impressive. And last but not least, Kaspa has a great community of true believers that's one of the main things that can yield another cycle, right? But probably just one more. And again, I can't promise it. Remember, this is not financial advice whatsoever. I'm not buying here at all, okay? I'm going to keep on watching Kaspa for potentially stage one neglect phase, and then a potential break into a renewed uptrend stage two in the next beginning of the cycle, or even before that, if it repeats kind of the past where it kind of led the way. I don't know if that will happen, but this is just an assumption. I love Kaspa because Kaspa was, I think, the best tradable coin for me as a trader. I traded it pitch perfect. The first trade for me was March 2022, all the way up multiple times, beautiful. And then I noticed the top phase. I was out of the trades. Then when it wanted to short, I went short. It was just beautiful for me. Okay, Kaspa is a great coin that can be traded again, and I think it has that potential 0.01% capability to make a new high from one cycle into another and join a very elite group of coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, and such a small selective group. This is not going to be easy. It's going to be very hard because of the influx of new coins, because the environment has changed. This is not like 2017 or 2021 or even 2025. The next cycle is going to be even worse from inflation, coins, too many coins out there. That's what I mean, inflation in coins. So it's going to be harsh. But if any one of the coins that was in this cycle of 2023 to 2025, I think Kaspa is the main name to potentially be in that group in the next cycle, and I'm going to put my eyes on it. And if you don't want to miss it, you want to join me while I'm watching it like a hook, and if it happens, get on board in it, scan the QR code, join a winning team. I'm a top 10 trader in the US Investing Championship. You can find me at No Wedge, No Trade. I traded crypto in a stock and futures competition, but I was trading crypto. That's me. I'm good. You want to join? Come on to the ride. Kaspa, I'm rooting for you. Till next time, no edge, no trade. Cheers.